Hey buddy, it's Steve. We finally made it to the last packs from the Command tier of the Star Realms Frontiers Kickstarter. We have the Lost Fleet and the Stellar Allies. We've already done all of the other Command decks for the hybridization factions, and the links for those are in the description. These should be all in a big playlist at this point. You can just go and just watch them all together. Combined, they range from about 3 to 5 minutes for each of them. This one's going to be a little bit longer because we're taking a look at two decks here. We're going to start with the Lost Fleet. And of course, I've already got them there, but play as High Admiral, I'm going to say Jokum or Yokum. Just see if I can get this to focus. There we go. Use salvage alien splinter technology to bend all the factions to your will. Battle against another command deck or play as a raid boss. This pack contains 20 cards. The other ones contained only 18. Legendary Commander card, a 14-card custom starting deck, a mighty 8-cost Megaship, 2 Gambits, and 2 scorecards. Alright. Let's see what we got to work with here. First up, the Lost Dreadnought. 7 attack, draw 2 cards. Lost Dreadnought has all factions. So this is essentially a skeleton key to work with whatever you have. The Assault Shard gives you 1, and I think this is the ally ability for the Lost Fleet of 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 of those. Command Shard. You may treat this card as having any name when using a Lost Ship ability. Okay. I think I need to read more into these, the ones as I go through it. So we have 1, 2 of those. We have a Recon Shard, 1 trade, and note it actually has LF for Lost Fleet in there. Looks like a possible ally ability of 5. I have a couple of those here. 3 of them here. Come on. Salvage Shard gives you 1 and scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. We have 3 of those. Transport Shard. Essentially, this is going to be the Star Empire one. 1 trade, draw a card, then discard a card. Splinter Tech. Whenever you use a, I'm assuming Lost Fleet ability, choose a faction, you count as having a card of that faction in play this turn. And of course, there's rules for the Lost Fleet command deck. That's 1 Gambit. The Grand Design activates all ally abilities. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand. Just reading over this real quick to see if those little symbols were explained. Of course, if you have any questions about the command decks, you can go to this URL. I've got that link in the description as well. So the High Admiral, well, looks like has 72 authority starting off, has a 7-card hand. When he plays, starts off at 72, and those are his custom scorecards right there. But I think I'm going to need to do a little bit more investigating into the Lost Fleet to know more about that. Now up, Stellar Allies. A pact between the Trade Federation and the Blob, as well as an alignment of the Star Empire and Machine Cult, has led to the creation of powerful new ships and bases. Be the first to add their might to your Star Realm. This contains 1 rules insert and 12 multi-faction cards, 2 alignment bot, a missile silo, needle lancers, packed pods, packed warships, summit site, the Citadel, and the Trade Hive. So let's take a quick look at these, and we'll wrap up this video. The alignment bot, Machine Cult, Star Empire ship, costs you 1, it gives you 2 trades. Scrap this card, scrap a card from your discard pile, or gain 2 attack and target opponent discards a card. This is an or ability too. That's kind of a cool one in the early games. We have 2 of those. The Citadel. Machine Cult, Star Empire base. Target opponent discards a card. You may scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. Cost 7, gets you 7. Look at that. What do you call this one? Stellar Alliances. That's the little mini logo for that one right there. So you can kind of tell which, if you're trying to keep them all together, you know which ones to have there. Missile Silo. 3 attack. It costs you 6, only gives you 5 outpost defense, but the ally ability is destroy target base and target opponent discards a card. This is one worth having, I think. Needle Lancers. Cost you 3, 5 attack. Copy an ally ability that you've already used this turn. And there's 2 of those in there you can use, so that'd be pretty cool to see what you can do and get creative with that. Next up, the Packed Pod. This is a Blob Trade Federation ship. Gives you 2 trade, same as its cost. Blob ability gives it 5 attack, and Trade Federation ability gives it an extra 1 trade. And we have 2 of those in here. Pact Warships, 5 attack, costs you 4 to pick up. Blob ability lets you destroy a target base, and the Trade Federation ability gives you 5 extra authority. Alright, sorry, I just had a message come in there. I just want to make sure the recording kept going. The Summit Site costs you 8, gives you 6 non-outpost defense, but lets you draw up 2 cards. Quote here, many Imperial agents have died attempting to find out what's discussed here. Interesting. The Trade Hive costs you 5, gives you 4 non-outpost defense, 2 trade every turn, and the Pact ally ability, draw up a card. Oh, and there's a nice little thing for the faction pairs. Actually, yeah, for example, if you have a... they're using the Alliance as the example here. If you have an Alliance card in play, you may activate any Trade Federation or Ally abilities. Alternatively, if you have a Trade Federation or Star Empire card in play, you may activate Ally abilities. So this is actually a really helpful card. Going to give you an idea of what you need to know. Looking back, I almost should have let off with this one, because this pretty much takes care of all the questions I had with these 6 decks. This one card that I pulled up at the end of this series, and this one takes care of all the questions you may have about this. I'm kind of annoyed that I did Stellar Allies and Lost Fleet last now. But that is going to wrap up this series for all of these cards that are now available as part of the Star Realms universe. I'm not sure when these are going to be arriving in stores. I think a lot of these were Kickstarters, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start showing up in stores in the next few months. Out of these factions you've seen so far, which one are you most impressed with? Which one do you want to see played the most? And which one do you want to play the most? Let me know in the comments section. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the videos that come out on my channel. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next video.